and welcome to class. Today we are doing hip stretches specifically for ankylosing spondylitis, but even if you don't have that and you just want some more hip mobility, this class is great for you as well. My name is Elina, and for today's class I would highly recommend having something soft for your knees, so either a gymnastics mat, double up on your yoga mat, or get a pillow or some towels or something for some of the moves that we'll be doing. I also love wearing socks when I practice, especially these kind of gentle stretching classes, because if you have cold feet, it tends to just hinder your flexibility overall, so grab some socks. Also, you might want to use a chair or some blocks for balance, so I would highly recommend having at least one yoga block, and then also a chair or a wall or something. I will be using my feet up, and I'll show you later how. But yeah, just make sure that you have these things. If you don't have a block, you can also use a cushion or anything like that. And yeah, let's dive right in. Okay, so let's get started on our back, and we'll just take a few moments here to settle in, kind of prepare our mind and our body for the session we're about to have. You can wiggle your hips a little side to side if that feels nice, or just stay still. Whatever feels good here. And maybe you close down your eyes. And just start to slow down your breathing. Just take about 30 seconds here or so. Notice your body. Notice where it touches the floor. Maybe notice how your clothes feel on your skin. And notice the air touching your skin. Notice how your body is just breathing without much effort on your part. It's just automatic. And just fully relax here. And when you feel ready, you can blink open the eyes, wiggle out the hips a little bit again, maybe bring your knees into your chest. You can take some circles here, massaging your sacrum if that feels nice. Again, if you have any SI joint issues or anything, this soft surface is really going to be your friend. And place your feet on the floor. Knees are bent and the feet are about hips distance. Press into your heels and lift your hips off the floor. Hold it and then slowly lower it down. Good. And lift. And lower. I'm going to do this a few more times. Lift. And lower. Really feel how the back of your legs start to activate here. Keep a slight tuck of your pelvis. Imagine you're trying to bring your hip bone, or your pubic bone rather, straight up to the ceiling. Pressing through the heels, you can lift the toes up for extra kind of proprioception into your heels. Good. Let's do 3 more. Really focus on your glutes and your hamstrings here. Try to relax your face. Relax your shoulders, anything that's not working. And this last one we're going to hold. Just breathing nice and slow, feeling those hips waking up, the hamstrings, the glutes. Now heel toe the feet a little closer in towards the center. And lift your right knee in towards your chest. Hold. And then lower it back down. And then the left knee in towards your chest. Point through the toes, staying active through the entire leg. And lower. Gonna do a few more here. Right leg. Lower and left leg. Good. You thought we were just stretching, huh? I always like to do a little bit of activation before we stretch. Just find that it helps to be a little bit warmer. And let's do one more each side. If you need to take a break, take a break. Listen to your body. This is your practice. I'm just here to guide you. Last one. Ooh, good. And slowly lower down. Bring your knees into your chest. Maybe, take some of those circles again. I always feel my sacrum just pop. My SI joints or something else. Anything you need to do here. Maybe some circles. Just getting some, you hear all that cracking and popping. AS, right? Keep your right foot on the floor. Extend your left leg and bring it as far up as you can comfortably. So you might be down here. That's okay. Just go wherever feels comfortable for you. Pointing the toe. And from here, we're going to gently flex the foot and then point and flex and point. So what this is doing is we're flossing our sciatic nerve. So if you feel this in your low back, I want you to back off a little bit. So lower the leg or don't flex your foot quite as hard. But if you feel it intensely in the back of your calf, your knee, your hamstring, that might just be your sciatic nerve kind of gliding through. And you don't want it to be a whole lot of sensation, but just feeling a little bit. Let's do one more. And then we'll circle the ankle one direction. Getting some ankle mobility here. And the other direction. It's like burning in my ankle. I need to work on my strength here, I think. Okay, and then lower that leg. And now reach the right leg out. And you can start really low and just see how this feels. And then slowly work your way up. And see what feels nice. And then start flexing and pointing. Flexing and pointing. Good. So again, flossing that sciatic nerve. If you feel it in your low back, I want you to kind of come out of it a little bit and lower the leg and maybe not flex your foot so hard. So when we floss nerves, so your nerves glide between muscles and fascia and through joints and all the things. And when we floss a nerve, it just helps it glide a little bit better. And so we don't want it to be a whole lot of discomfort. A little bit is okay, but less is more when it comes to your nerves. Okay, let's do some ankle circles. One direction. And the other direction. And just notice here if you're holding tension in your shoulders or your face. Try to relax. And lower that leg down. Good. Take any little wiggles you need here. And then come to one side. And we'll come up to a seated position. So I'm going to show you this first from the side. And then I'll show you from the front. So we are going to press our knees together. And then we're going to open the knees up. So we're going to press the knees together and then open them up. So find kind of your distance, right? So you might be here, or you might be able to come out to here, or even further. For me, I have a little bit limited internal rotation, so I have to be here somewhere. So find whatever works for you. And we're going to press the knees in together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and now open it up. Try to get the knees to the floor. They're probably not going to reach, but imagine that that's what you're trying to do. 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the knees together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and open it up. Really activate those hips. 3, 2, 1, and squeeze together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and open, really open as actively as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Squeeze as hard as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then open it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, all right, shake that out. Ooh, I hope you feel your inner thighs. Ooh, okay, so now we're gonna do some windshield wipers. So you can start here with your hands behind you. Either place the hands down, you can be on your fingertips or your knuckles if your wrists are bothering you. And just nice and gentle, side to side with the knees. See how this feels. If this feels like this is good, then you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, I'm just gonna turn, you stay where you are. I'm just gonna turn so you can see me a little bit better. So if this feels nice, you just stay here. If you want a little bit more, come up so you're more straight up with your torso, and then maybe start turning towards that front leg, and then to the other side. Good. If this feels okay, and you want a little bit more, you can try it with no hands. Just an invitation. Keep using the hands if that feels better for you. But just an invitation to challenge yourself here. And you can stay here, or if you want even more, you can start to lean towards that front leg. Press up, really using the glute of that front leg. Come to the other side, pressing through this glute here, through your butt muscle. Ooh, and up. Good. Active hip mobility here. And up. And you can also do this using your hands, right? So you might be here. But I want you to really focus on keeping those hips active by pressing down through that front leg. You can press down through the knee if you have a hard time finding your glute engagement. So imagine that you're trying to press your knee into the floor, and that way you engage through that glute. And if you keep sliding forward like me, that's totally normal. And maybe you do this hands-free. Whew. Let's do one more each side. Good, you're doing great. Whatever your level is, just, listen to your body. And if you're not up for challenging yourself today, that's totally okay. And if you are, that's great too. Whew. All right, come back to center. Shake it out. Maybe, I don't know if you, do you hear that? Ankylosing spondylitis, am I right? It just cracks everywhere. Okay, and now come to sit with your knees bent. Take the right foot, and you might have to lower that front leg a little bit. Place your right ankle on top of that knee and just start rocking side to side. So again, you might be up here or you might be down here, whatever feels good for you. I want you to feel it in that glute side of the hip, not in your knee. So flex your foot. That will help to feel, it'll help your knee feel a little bit more stable. And then just work at a level that feels nice and empowering for you, where you feel a stretch and a little bit of challenge, but it's not too much and no pain. Okay, and switch to the other side. Oof, if you have cranky knees like me, you can shake them out. Beautiful. This is a good one here. And try not to sink down too much here, but keep the chest proud. Spine is long. Oh, this is so, when it comes over to this side here, that's when I feel it the most. Oh, it's such a juicy stretch. Whew, and I'm so tight in my external rotators. It's pretty crazy. Maybe you're not, but we all have our spots, right? And this is definitely one of mine. Ooh. Yeah, Okay, so come out of that. Again, take any little moves you have to here, and we'll swing around and come into a tabletop position. Let's just do a couple of wrist warm-ups here because we'll spend some time in our tabletop. So spread your fingers wide, hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, index fingers are pointing forwards. Lift the heel of your hand, knuckles stay down, it's okay if the thumb lifts, it will, and then lower down. And lift and lower. So these are wrist push-ups. Very good to do before you do any planks or any tabletop or anything like that. I have a cyst in my left wrist, so my left wrist has just been very temperamental for the past few years. One of the things with ankylosing spondylitis, right? Always something. So I have to do this before I almost do anything else in my day, actually. Ooh, okay, whew. Shake that out. Maybe you sit back on your heels for a bit. Hopefully your hands and your forearms and your wrist feel a little bit warmer. We're gonna do one more thing here. So this time, imagine you're trying to scrunch the mat or the floor with your fingers. Whew, this is a real good one. If this is too hard, you can come back a little bit and sit back here. That makes it a little bit easier. If you want more, you can come forward. Oh my word, I can barely lift up from here. Ooh, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, good job. Shake it out. Okay, so now grab your block if you have it. If you don't have a block, you don't need to use a block for this, but I think it feels really nice because it gives you a little bit more activation. You're gonna take the block, place it between, with the long end, place it between your heel and the smile of your butt, like right where your hamstring and butt meet. Squeeze it. Your hamstring might be cramping already. And from here, we're gonna do hip circles. Up, out, and down. Ooh, we're just good. Ooh, cracking. Very nice. Yes. Squeeze the block. And if you don't have a block, just do it without a block. Whew, and switch directions. Just doing a few here. If you're using the block, it's very intense. So, ooh, and try to not arch your back, but keep your belly drawn in and your core engaged. Whew, and lower down. Good job. Whew. All right, other side. Block goes between the heel and the smile of your butt. You can point the toe and then, take those hip circles. Oh, this is a whole nother level of hip activation if you're using the block. Whew. And if you're not using the block, just squeeze your heel towards your butt as you do these. Okay, switch directions. And I'm going pretty fast on these, but you can literally do these super slow, and they're a really, really good mobility move. If you want to do them on your own, ooh, and lower it down. Oh, good job. Roll out the wrists. Come back into your tabletop position and arch the spine here. And I want you to focus on pulling the mat back towards you. So you're super active here. You can even bend the elbows and feel how your upper back engages. Might hear some cracks and pops. And then push the floor away, round the spine like an angry cat. And then back to your cow pose. So again, pulling the mat back. You can even play with bringing the hands a little bit closer, sitting back a little bit towards your heels and really pulling the mat. And looking forward or upward, whatever feels nice for your neck. And push. And pull, arch. Good, nice and active here. Your back should be on fire in a good way. And push. And one more time. Arch, pull, 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 pull. Really feel those shoulder blades working, that upper back, the middle back. You should really feel those strong back muscles engage, and then push away, stretch it out. Round the spine. Oh, and back to neutral. Good job. Take a little break for the wrists again. From here, we're gonna do I call these plank lunge twists. I'm gonna show you first from a tabletop position, and then the next level would be to do them in a plank. So do whatever feels nice for you. So if you wanna try the tabletop position, you're here, you step the left foot forward, you open up that left arm, take a twist, and lower it down. Step it back. Right foot forward, right arm up, twist, and then lower the hand and step it back. So that's the tabletop version. If you want to do this in a plank, you're in a plank, left foot forward, left arm opens, hand comes down, step it back. Right foot, open, hand comes down, step it back, okay? We're gonna do 10 total, so 5 on each side. So pick whichever one that feels good for you. And if you can't get your foot forward, just kind of finagle it in there somehow. When I started, I was on all fours in the tabletop, and I could not get my foot forward without really it was a lot of effort. So if that's you, just know that that's normal, right? We all start somewhere, and then you can gradually work your way into making the movement smoother, and then maybe doing it in plank eventually. Even my plank is it's challenging for me to get my foot forward, but it's a really good hip mobility move. So I'm gonna do the plank one. You can stay in tabletop, whatever feels nice for you. And here we go. Left foot forward, left arm up, take a twist, left hand down, step it back. Right foot forward, take a twist, that right arm comes up, hand comes down, step it back. Left foot, left arm open, hand comes down, step it back. Right foot, right arm. Good. Step it back. Left foot, open, come back down and step it back. Right foot, right arm. Hand comes down, step it back. We got 2 more each side. And you can go at your own pace here. If you want to go faster, go ahead. If you want to go slower, go ahead. Whatever your body feels like here, listen to it. I'm just here to guide you. This is your practice. Oh, this is the last one here. And come down. Ooh, beautiful. Shake out those wrists. And now grab your chair. Okay, so I have my feet up here. You can use a regular chair or the wall even. What I want you to use it for is just for balance, right? So we are coming into a 90-90 position here. So your left leg is coming forward. You can hold on to the chair. You can actually even lean into the chair a little bit or the wall. Just so you feel super supported here. If you don't have a chair or you want to do this without, that's fine too. But I really recommend having something for balance to help your nervous system feel safe. So, left foot is forward, right shin is on the ground. This is where you need those. You need something soft under your knee. Tuck your pelvis under. Interlace your fingers. Place the hands on that front thigh, close to the knee. And then I want you here to tuck your chin, and you'll feel this weird sensation, very intense stretch in the front of your leg. Tucking the hips, and then raise the chin a bit, and then tuck it back in. Raise and tuck. We're flossing here again, the femoral nerve in the front of our hips. Good. So again, you don't want to feel it too intensely, but you want to feel a little something. Ooh, last one more. Ooh, good job. Shake it out, and we're gonna do the other side. So again, have something, I like to have something like just to kind of lean against a little bit or just touch it, because it helps my brain feel much safer versus trying to do this and then you're wobbling and you know, you're almost falling over, which is not gonna be very productive for your mobility, right? So same thing here. I don't know if you can see, but I'm leaning my leg a little bit against this chair. You can also use a wall, and then interlace the fingers, place them on top of that a few inches above the knee on that front leg, tuck your pelvis, and now we're gonna bring the chin to the chest, and up, and in, and then up, nice and gentle. Really tucking those hips. I hope you feel it. Let's do 3 more. Last one. Whew, okay, good job. Whew. Shake the hips out. Bring your left leg forward. Hold on to your chair. Tilting now the hips backwards. So instead of tucking the hips, I want you to have an anterior tilt. So imagine you have a tail and you're reaching that tail up towards the sky. You can keep a slight bend in this front knee. I hope you can see me, even though I'm using the chair. Let me actually just switch to this side maybe. There, yes. Okay, so this is where the chair is very handy. You can also use a block on the other side just to really feel stable here. So, anterior tilt of the pelvis, spine is long. You can keep a micro bend in that knee and then slightly just come forward until you feel a stretch in the back of this leg. You might be up here, you might be all the way down. Wherever you are, just listen to your body. And just breathing. Letting your body just get used to this position. And from here, point the toes and flex. Point and flex, nice and gentle here. Make sure you feel supported. Hold on to that chair and the block or the wall, whatever you have. And point. And now keep the flex. And from your hip joint, I want you to rotate out and then rotate in. So your foot is gonna move, but it's just because it's attached to your leg, okay? So this is really your femur bone, your thigh bone is moving in the hip socket. Really feeling this inside your hip joints. Bringing some awareness there. Some neural pathways. Good. Whew, okay. And bring that leg in. Take any wiggles that you need. And we'll do the same thing on the other side now. So right leg is straight ahead. You can point or flex the foot or floint, whatever feels nice. You can keep a micro bend in the knee or straighten it completely. For me, I have hyperextension in my knees, and so straightening it completely just hurts terribly. So I like to keep a bend in there, and I still feel a nice stretch in the hamstring. I know some teachers always say, straighten your legs, but if you have hyperextension, don't straighten your legs. Whew, okay, just let your body kind of arrive here. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Nice and calm, you're safe, you're supported, it's all good. Communicating to our nervous system that we are okay here. And then you can start pointing and flexing through that foot. Maybe you come up a little bit for that, it can feel quite intense. Remember, spine is long, that pelvis is tilted forward. Imagine you have a tail that you're reaching up towards the ceiling. And then flex the foot, and again, from the hip joint, rotate that leg. Good. So the foot moves, but that's just because it's attached to your leg. Really rotating the thigh bone inside the hip socket. Ooh, yeah. Good. Oof, okay, and bring it in. And you can get rid of your chair unless you want to keep it for balance. So it's up to you. I'm going to get rid of mine. But if you feel like you need it for this, then by all means go ahead. So this is another one where you need the knee padding. So if you have a gymnastics mat or a rug or something, or double yoga mats, you might want to actually put even more padding under your knee for this. So starting off, standing on your shins like this. Bring your right leg out, so externally rotate it. Imagine that your right knee is going to face straight towards the wall next to you. Your feet or your toes are pointing the same direction. You're actively pressing that knee backwards, so you're opening up through this hip. Place your hand, the back of your hand on the inside of that knee. Go down and come back up. And down and come back up. This is like a little mini warrior 2, if you're familiar with yoga. And we're just gonna work a few repetitions here. You're gonna feel this in your inner thigh and your hips. This is a really, really nice hip mobility move that builds strength and stability and flexibility. Let's do 3 more. And you don't have to go too deep. Just go until you feel like a stretch and then press back up. So press through the heel to really engage that leg. Good. Whoo. I lost count. Let's do one more. Whoo. Okay, good. Shake that out. You can take a little gate pose here if you'd like. Toes point forward. Leg is straight, and you can just come down to your fingertips and just back and forth, rock a little bit here, nice and gentle, and then slowly bring that right leg in, and we're gonna do the other side. I'm just gonna move this way so you can see me properly. So starting off again, standing on your shins, that left leg opens up, facing straight to your left. Place the back of your left hand on the inside of that knee, and from here, we'll start lowering and coming back up. Lower and come back up. Just nice and easy here. Doesn't have it to be anything too crazy. If you want to go even slower, you can. Ooh. It's easy to want to rush through these because they're uncomfortable. But the slower you go, the more mindful the movement is, I argue. Good. And so this is where this knee might be a little sensitive, so just make sure that you pad it properly. I love this gymnastics mat. It really changed the game for my flexibility and mobility training, because a regular yoga mat just is not enough for me at all. So highly recommend. Ooh, one more. Oh, and come back up. Good. Okay, oof. If you wanted to, actually, you can do this gate pose. So toes face forward, and you can come down onto your fingertips and just rock back and forth a little bit here. Good. Ooh. Getting a nice stretch through that inner thigh, and then slowly bring it in. For our last stretch, we're gonna do an inner thigh stretch. I'm gonna give you 2 options. I'm going to show you first using 2 blocks. You can also use chairs or cushions or anything here. It's a supine butterfly. So you're going to come to lay on your back. Feet are together and as close in as feels comfortable, and then open the knees out. So this might feel too intense or not feeling great for you. So then you can take the blocks, place them underneath your knees, or you can use chairs or anything here, and you just stay here, just breathing and relaxing. And maybe after a while, you feel like you can open a bit more, then you can lower the support, and then eventually go even lower. But that's, just work where your body is today. And for the next alternative is a frog pose. So we'll just be doing the same thing, but from a different direction. So from a tabletop position, walk your knees out. Again, this is where you really need to have a soft surface underneath those knees. Flex the foot or flex the feet or point the feet, and make sure that your hips are in line with your knees. And you can be on your forearms here. Or if you're a little bit higher up, you can be here, whatever feels nice. So pick your variation, either the supine butterfly or frog pose, and we're gonna hold this for about a minute. I don't have a timer, but about a minute, and then we are done for today. So take your position and just relax into it, whatever variation you chose. Slow down the breathing. Relax your face. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. And just see if maybe those hips want to open a little bit more. You can adjust as needed. And if you're in frog pose, maybe you rock a little back and forth, getting some movement into those hips. If you're in a supine butterfly, just notice how you're feeling. Maybe you lower the support a little bit, or maybe you raise it. Whatever feels nice for you. And nice and slow breathing here. Try to relax. Just let gravity do its thing. And one more deep breath here. Good. And if you're in your frog pose, you can bring the toes together and just make your way up and bring the knees together. If you are in your supine butterfly, bring the knees together. And you can rock a little side to side, whatever feels good. Actually, if you did frog pose, we can also lay down on our back here for a moment. Wiggle the hips side to side. After doing frog pose, if you did frog pose, it can be quite intense. So just know that it's normal if you feel a little bit like a 100-year-old in your hips. It'll go away after a few seconds, but it's a kind of an intense stretch. Bring your knees to your chest. Some circles if that feels nice. And come over to one side and come up to sit. Arms up overhead. Get really tall. Lengthen that spine. Imagine you're trying to reach something above you. And exhale. And we are done. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you are not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and practice with me again. If you have any requests or any questions, drop them in the comment section below. And thank you again so much for practicing with me. You can find me on Instagram, Wellness with Elina, and I will see you next time. Bye. Have a beautiful day.